Season 7 is around the corner. Which new things are coming? And how does the new gameplay loop look like? How much fun will you be able to have with the new season? Lastly, how do you get this cute Raven pet? Because who doesn't want a Raven pet picking up their gold? Now, I'm not here to watch the trailer with you and waste your time. I'm here to give you good quality information. Season 7 is going to be the season of Witchcraft, and it's going to focus on the Tree of Whispers. Your goal this season while leveling and into the endgame will be going into the new Headhunt zones, doing as many whispers as possible, and there will be new kind of whispers too. Plus, you can kill the Headrotten. That's a new type of boss, a new type of monster that escaped from the Tree of Whispers. The heads are essentially corrupting living bodies, and you gotta beat them and fight them off. This will earn you favor with the Witch's Coven of the Tree of Whispers, and you'll earn good loot plus that Resplendent Spark. And on top, you'll be getting your Witchcraft powers and the materials to upgrade your Witchcraft powers. You'll be able to take one ultimate with 5 more supporting ones, and there's tons to choose from. Here we're talking about Eldritch powers, Psyches, Growth and Decay, and Lost, partially getting a Poisonous Frog Servant, Fire Bats, Vengeful Spirits, or a Pyronado that pulls everyone together. So there's quite a variety of skills coming, and new occult gems to socket into your stuff to increase your summoning damage, overpower damage, critical strike damage that will still give you armor and resistances. But the very cool thing about this whole stuff is, since we're gonna do all these whispers in the headhunt areas, they also buffed the whisper caches. They're enhanced now. Now we already get to test a lot of these powers on the PDR, and they're already buffing and nerfing some of them as they're too strong or too weak. One of my favorite ones has been, to give you an example, the Grow power. After casting an ultimate skill, your servants, minions, and companions are empowered with dark magics, growing larger in size and dealing bonus damage. That lasts 15 seconds. And at rank 11, because you can rank up your powers, your servant, minions, and companions gain 100% critical strike chance while enlarged, making my summoner Necro just hit hard like a train. And don't forget the most important thing about these witch powers. They're like the vampiric powers. They're on top of everything. They're not taking anything away. They're adding to your existing build to make it more powerful. And that brings us to the expected gameplay loop. You're going to start the game 1 to 60 as usual, but this time you're going to spend all your time pretty much in this headhunt area, hunting the Headrotten to get yourself the currency called the Restless Rod. Because with the Restless Rod, you upgrade your witch powers from level 1 to 11 to get that bonus power. So you pretty much only want to level in this area. This is what you're going to do this season. It's like Helltide, but that we're not actually spending time in Helltide. No, we get more than enough of these headhunt areas going on. I think there were at least 3 up at the same time throughout whole Sanctuary, including the Vessel of Hatred area. You always have one up. And even if you completely finished one in 30 minutes time, you could go to the next one and the next one. That's where you can pretty much spend your whole time with the actual season theme. And then as you get it to max level, you have your standard loops that you can be doing. You got the Infernal Hordes for loot and easy ancestral gear, followed up by the Pit to then test your build, how far you can go, and upgrade your Paragon glyphs, together with the Undercity to give you even more loot. And since all the tributes should be working right now and are fixed, get you also more masterworking materials, more runes on top, and let's not forget the boss summoning materials you can get there as well, because the summoned bosses don't go away, since they're your source for uniques and uber uniques as they have always been. All the witchcraft powers will allow you to make your builds that you've already been playing vastly stronger, and partially allow you to make builds that haven't worked before or existed before, considering that we can build around a poison frog, maybe, and there are ways to restore your resources that will allow you to alter what you've been going for so far. And that brings me to my favorite feature this season. This would be the Armory. Yes, we finally get something to save our builds, our skills, and our Paragon points to then just load and mix and match. I can make myself a Helltide build, a Headhunt farming build, a Pit pushing build, and something that works really good for Infernal Hordes. For example, my Necromancer does have minions. Minions are straight up amazing for the Helltides because I can just farm their AFK. Hell, I can walk into the Headhunt area and just don't even do a single thing, just run around and have my minions do all the work for me. Very easy going. But if I'm then playing the Infernal Hordes, I want more something like a Blood Surge build, Spirit Wave, maybe something with a new Blood Wave. These kind of things to farm even more efficient, which though means for the pit there might be something else that works even better. And just with a click of a button, I can load between all these different builds to always have the most fun in the respective content I am planning to do. Now I know most people already struggle to get one good build going, but there's also this barrier of not wanting to swap over to something because then your old build might be lost and you're just annoyed that you have to go back to it if the new one didn't work. And like this, just the click of a button away, you are already back to your old build if you didn't like the new one, or if you just want to still work on the new one, but you still want to be able to push the existing content. You want to farm the Helltide, but partially try out the new one in the Infernal Hordes, or vice versa. I'm trying the new one out in the Helltides, but then I need to do Infernal Hordes to get more gear for the new one, but you don't have to play the new one to get the gear, you play your old one to get the gear, to then continue with the new one as you get more pieces. But wait, there's more. 2 huge changes which are drastically changing uniques and ancestral items in general. This is a 3 greater affix Crown of Lucian, and it only has 11 out of 15%, which makes it a dud, regardless of having 3 greater affixes. And my 1 greater affix Crown of Lucian with a 13% would be better. In the update, the more greater affixes a unique has, the higher the base power will be. So this one with 3 greater affixes could maybe not be under 12%. Or if you get yourself a Locran's Amulet with 4 greater affixes, it will always be 35% at least, but could potentially be higher. This makes finding 4 greater or 3 greater affix items finally good. I cannot tell you how many Banished Lord's talismans I've found that have been 20% or 30% while having 3 to 4 greater affixes. It's crazy. That's going to change with the new season. Which brings us to greater affix items in general, because we have been a problem with the aspects. Aspects can roll, for example, from 10% all the way up to 30%. But if it's a non-greater affix item, it can maximum be 25%. So the accelerating aspect, as a normal legendary, without a single greater affix, will never be higher than 25%. But if you now get a greater affix item with the accelerating aspect, it will at least be 25%, the highest possible roll as a non-greater affix item, and then potentially higher. Which will make getting these 21 out of 21 aspects easier than ever. Was partially impossible in Season 6. Very good change. And you know what the good thing is about Dorian? That's the Raven's name. He comes from the seasonal journey. So for free, just playing this season, you don't even have to buy the battle pass. You pretty much just have to do all the golds. Done. New Raven pet. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Season of Witchcraft, something for you? Are you going to go into these headhunt areas, boost your existing builds, have a good time? Does this sound like 2, 3, 4 weeks of fun for you maybe? And then we're waiting for Season 8 again. I think I can get probably 2 to 3 weeks out of this where I'll be experimenting around with the stuff and have good fun. But what about you? Tell me in the comments below. And if you already want to have an eye on an amazing minion necker that I'm planning to play in the coming season, here it is. Take care.